Yo, 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 what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, the franchise player, Double B Bad Blood, here once again on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. And man, I got a special guest today. Here's this BodySlam.net exclusive. The last real man of professional wrestling right here, ladies and gentlemen, Silas. Brother,
Thank you.
what's
Thank you
up?
for having me on.
Oh, man. I'm sorry we had to have you under such shitty circumstances, my man. Um, wow. I mean, this is some crazy shit that happened today.
Yeah. This is the first interview I've done about this too. It's definitely an eye-opening and a life-changing experience, that's for sure.
So let's get into it, man. What was it like? I mean, did you get a fucking phone call? Did you get a text message, a Snapchat, a tweet? What?
So we actually have some TV tapings coming up this next week, and since the whole pandemic era, the TV tapings have been done a lot differently. There's been no fans for the last almost 2 years. There's a lot of COVID protocol that goes into all this, and with that all said, we typically do what's called a town hall meeting leading up to these TV tapings, and basically it was during that meeting that basically everybody found out that come after Final Battle this December 11th, that Ring of Honor is basically going to cease to assist or cease to exist uh, for the foreseeable future.
So there's been these rumors going on that yeah, there's going to be a reset, and they're going to work things out to where they'll be able to bring everybody back. What is the truth? Like what is the real like fucking down to earth nitty gritty shoot style the fucking truth? Like, are you coming back? Are you not coming back? Is it like a reset? Is it done?
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of us know basically what you guys know. I know it's been said that there's a plan for a reboot at what would be Supercard of Honor, which is, usually WrestleMania weekend in whichever city WWE is running WrestleMania that year. So I guess the idea is to do that. But I mean, to be honest, uh, working for Ring of Honor for as long as I have, there's a lot of really talented guys there, and basically come the end of the year, depending on contracts for a lot of guys, no one's going to be getting paid past, past what your contract expires. For instance, my contract is set to expire December 31st of this year. So come the first of the year, I will no longer be getting paid for guys that say, have a contract that goes longer, say like maybe till the end of 2022. From what I know, they'll only be getting paid till the end of March of 2022, and then whether they have to negotiate a buyout or whatever, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that part. That's about as much as I know about that as far as guys getting paid. And from what I heard, and this isn't like definitely set in stone by any means, but it seems like, they're basically Ring of Honor was paying everybody for 2 years to not have shows with fans. So I got to say, I'm super thankful for that. There's never a good time to be let go from your job, right? You never can have enough money saved. You can never be prepared.
Exactly.
Uh, I understand kind of why it's happening. It's a business decision, right? Like they can only lose money for so long, and it's one of those weird things, obviously over the last few days, we all found out about this Wednesday afternoon. Myself and a lot of the guys on the roster, we've all been communicating, talking to each other and everything, and, discussing. And I said, it sucks that it's happening, but in a way, will it be weird to go back and do these set of tapings next week, knowing that things are going to be over soon? Will it be weird going to do Final Battle, knowing these things are going to be over soon? I think it's one of those things where it's really like you got to look at it from, try and look at it from like a positive perspective. I would rather know a little ahead of time, know that I'm losing my job, so I have a little bit of time.
Yeah, so we get a fucking backup,
Yeah, so get a backup, take some precautions, do what we got to do. Opposed to like a lot of guys, when you lose your job in wrestling, you get a phone call or I don't know, like something UPS to you basically saying, good luck to you, pal, but you're done now. So it sucks, but I feel like the way they did it, I think is pretty good. A lot of us, a lot of the guys that this is really affecting are guys that had exclusive deals, like myself, which meant I couldn't work anywhere else. And Ring of Honor's been good enough to us to, allow us to start working some independent dates pretty much as of, that after that phone call, basically. So, I mean, it sucks, but I think it's nice that they gave us some notice. It's nice that they're allowing us to get out there and start working again, and try and help recoup whatever kind of losses we're gonna experience. I'm sorry, you're cutting out, buddy. I can't hear you.
Oh, is that better?
That's much
Sorry.
better.
Okay, I guess my big question is this: in the locker room, now that like all of this has happened, is there any heat like the office? Like, I mean, i- with WWE guys got text messages like, "Oh, by the way, we made fucking $12 billion last year, but we're gonna cut you guys due to budget cuts. Sorry." You know, was there any like
Yeah,
rumblings with the guys like, "Fuck, I can't believe this." Like, I mean, like guys like for instance, like I know like Shane Taylor had an exclusive deal. You had an exclusive deal. Um, Jay Lethal had an exclusive deal, and I believe Flip Gordon also had one of those exclusive deals. Like guys like that have
yeah,
dedicated their
absolutely. I mean,
lives to the Ring of Honor. Like, where are they
absolutely.
going
I
to
mean, there's a
go
lot of
now?
guys with yeah, the Briscoes. I mean, there was a lot of guys that actually had exclusive deals in the last couple of years. They'd really started signing a lot of guys to exclusive deals. I don't know. That's the thing. There's right now it's great in the sense that you have WWE, you have TNA, you have AEW, even places like MLW, and then there's some really good indies that you can work for as well. But nothing that's going to be comparable to getting a guaranteed check every month. So I think
Yeah,
it's going to be really hard. But as far as if there's any heat, I mean, yes and no. I think there's people that are definitely pissed. I mean, we're all pissed. No one wants to lose their job, right? But I don't think I don't think anybody is taking it too personal, like this is being done to us on purpose. I think it's Ring of Honor is owned by Sinclair Broadcasting, the biggest broadcasting group in the United States. It's a business. They run like a business. It's all about what's profitable for them and what's not. And I would imagine not running shows for 2 years and no fans has got to be extremely unprofitable.
oh
So
yeah, trust me, it
I mean,
is.
I know I can say for speaking for myself. I mean, I have no heat. I mean, I'm not happy about it. I sure as hell wish we were still working. I was looking, going into 2022, hoping that it was feeling like things were opening up and like we were gonna maybe get back to an actual traveling schedule. So it's I think whether there's heat or not, it really just comes down to the individual involved.
Man, I mean, it's one of those things that when you're looking at it from the outside, you're like, oh man, like for instance, like WWE was releasing people. I'm pretty sure everybody was like, fuck, man, that's crazy. You know, I wonder if my spot's gonna be safe here because now they got fucking Bray Wyatt leaving. They got fucking, CM Punk is coming back from, being out for X amount of years. And you got Brian Danielson who absolutely loved being there. Now he's, in AEW, and like, you start thinking about it, like I've listened to like other podcasts and interviews. They, basically they all started with Ring of Honor. They all made their name. They all
Right.
cut their teeth there. Ring of Honor is like I call it the launching pad for your professional wrestling career because when you fucking make it a Ring of Honor, you make it anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Ring of Honor's been the most influential wrestling company in the last 20 years. They really, I mean, you look at the way WWE wrestling was, like the in-ring style pre-Ring of
hmm
Honor, and then look at it from like, say, man, I can't say an exact year, but just say like it's like the last 10, 12 years, like the talent that is now, in the main event spots for places like AEW, places like even WWE, even New Japan, it all has that flavor or that Ring of Honor feel. So it's definitely been a super influential place. And I'll be honest with you, working for Ring of Honor for a long time and knowing it was owned by broadcast or Sinclair Broadcasting, I was kind of under the assumption that it was always cheap programming for them and it was some pretty good job security. But like the wrestling business, there's never such thing as real
there's no
job
such thing
security.
as job security in the wrestling business. We both know that.
Right.
Okay, so here's something that has been kind of bothering me all day long when I heard this story. Sinclair Broadcasting is a television conglomerate. They they don't know wrestling. Joe Coffey loved you guys, worked hard to try to make sure you guys got your just desserts. You know what I mean? Like that guy
Right.
bust his ass to make sure Ring of Honor was where it was at. But you guys had a horrible television slot. Like people literally had to find you guys for TV. Um, and then now that you guys are now the Ring of Honor is closing, Sinclair decides that they're going to buy the WoW product, the Women of Wrestling, the
I
Tessa
was not aware
Blanchard,
of that.
AJ Lee. You ever heard that yet?
No, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, yeah. So in a sense, they're replacing a good, legit, like fucking legendary making wrestling company with wow, Women of Wrestling.
Right.
How does that make the guys? I mean, you just find out yourself, which really fucking sucks. But how would that make the guys in the locker room feel that after all of these years, like history makers like Homicide? I haven't talked to Homicide yet. I probably should give him a call. Homicide, fucking yourself, the bouncers, um,
Briscoes.
the Briscoes, Jay Lethal, Jonathan Gresham, who is killing the game right now. I mean, I look for him to become the heavyweight champion at Final Battle. Like that,
Right.
that guy dedicated his life to Ring of Honor. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's like all of those guys, including yourself, you guys bust your ass to build that promotion, and now you guys are being replaced by Wow.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it sure doesn't feel good, but I just try and always remind myself that it's a business, and the I would assume the people making the decisions, at Sinclair, it's not just Joe Koff. I
Yeah.
truly believe, Joe Koff really went to bat for us and tried to keep this thing going. I
Oh no,
know
he did.
Joe's a huge fan of pro wrestling, and uh, I always felt like I was treated really well by the company. So, I have nothing bad to say, about them. But I think what it just comes down to is just, it's a boardroom full of executives, and it's all about what's cheap and what makes money. But it sure as hell doesn't make you feel good.
Man. So now that this has happened, what what are your future like AEW, WWE, NXT 2.0, Impact Wrestling? Like the world is your oyster right now.
Yeah,
Where would you
absolutely.
like to go?
So I'll say this. This phone call was hard for everybody to have. Everybody was down in the dumps. You start worrying about stuff. You start worrying about what are you going to do, where are you going to get your next paycheck from, what are you going to do to pay bills. I've dedicated the last 20 years of my life to pro wrestling. For me, I look at it as like it's this or bust. But with that said, the last 2 years we barely worked at all, man. We barely wrestled, and I missed doing shows regularly. So I'm trying to look at this whole situation and trying to find the silver lining a little bit. I missed wrestling, so now I get the opportunity to get out there. I get the opportunity to get out there and work. Work some indies for a while. I mentioned earlier that Ring of Honor is allowing us to take independent bookings at the moment, even while we're still under contract, which is much appreciated.
Yeah, that's
Um,
awesome.
so clearly though, obviously, I would love to go to a place like AEW or Impact or WWE. I think that would be the kind of the no brainer answer. But at the same time, I'm excited to get out there and work. I've managed to pick up some bookings in the last few days, so I'm excited to get out there and be working regularly again. To be working in front of crowds where the fans are just right there on top of you, and they're just almost as much of a part of the show as you are. So I'm excited about it. But clearly, I would like to land somewhere big where you can have a big global reach.
And that's the thing, man. I've known you for a while, and I sit back and I think to myself, God damn, he is so fucking talented. You know, if you got
And
on with AEW, man, like your style would totally fit with AEW because the
yeah,
whole gimmick.
I think I could do real well in AEW. They got a lot of younger guys. There's no one that's really doing anything like I do there. So I think it's something I could definitely be a good fit. And I think I could be honestly, I think I could be a good fit with any company. I can wrestle all different styles. I can wrestle anybody. Uh, it's just a little bit of we just have to see what the future holds.
I get you. I get you. So let me ask you three questions. First question: what is your most memorable moment with Ring of Honor?
I mean, I think it's a tie between two. And they're two big important moments that every wrestler hopes to have. Number one, I think obviously would be the show we did in Madison Square Garden a couple of years back. MSG is the
Mecca.
mecca of pro wrestling. So being able to perform in front of a sold out Madison Square Garden was a big one for me. And then also going to Japan with Ring of Honor and working with New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor was another really big highlight for me.
Nice. If you you tell your 20-year-old self, what would you tell your 20-year-old self? What would you tell your 20-year-old self then? What you know now? Like, how would you make
uh,
that? How would you make your 20-year-old self more wiser to this business?
you know what? I think maybe thinking about opportunities a little bit more, thinking about which opportunities are best to take, and that sometimes money isn't always the most important thing. Sometimes you got to look at the place you're working for. Um, stuff like that, or maybe years that I wish that I would have just, maybe worked a little bit harder or whatever. I've always been working pretty hard. It's kind of hard to say. I
Yeah.
wish I could go back maybe a little bit younger, like 18, and tell myself to start even younger, but that's really about it. you know?
Trust me, starting at 16 was really hard on me, man. Really
Same
hard.
here. Same
Oh
here.
man, 29 years later, I'm still thinking, what the fuck am I doing? Um,
Right.
all right, and the last thing I want to ask you, real simple, man. What is the biggest regret you have with Ring of Honor?
I think my biggest regret was, that maybe I didn't speak up more when I could have. Maybe I've never been a politicker, man. I've never been a politicker. I've never been one to try and shit on people or not get someone booked. But I wish I would have been maybe a little bit more proactive for myself. I always kind of had this idea that if you're going to win a title belt or become a champion or whatever, you should do it because the people that are in charge recognize your talent, and that's why they want to put the belts on you. But I realize that in a lot of cases in pro wrestling that it's a lot of politicking. So maybe I could have been a little bit better at politicking. But I also take pride in the fact that I've been a two-time Ring of Honor World Television Champion, and it all happened because they looked at me and recognized my talent and what I could bring to the table, and not because I kissed someone's ass and bugged them
Exactly.
to give me a title. So maybe part of me thinks maybe I could have been a little bit better at it, but at the same time, I always also kind of figure that's not really me, anyways.
I can respect that. Totally respect that. All right, so I got this game that I play. I think I played with you before, but we'll go ahead and shoot it one more time to see how we can get it going. Since now the Ring of Honor is shut down. Um, the game: team with, feud with, or fire. Simple, Paul. Simple. You can team with anyone in the industry, alive or dead, no matter who the fuck it is. You can feud with anybody. I mean, anybody. It doesn't matter. You can
Okay, so
fire any motherfucker you want.
I got to come up with each one with for each one, right?
Exactly. You can fire any motherfucker you want. No questions asked unless you want to tell us why. So,
All
team
right.
with, feud with, fire.
All right, so team with I would say Josh Woods, man. I really enjoyed the tag team that I did with Josh Woods. He's a good guy. It kind of helped give me a little different layer to my character. He's a good dude. He's awesome to work with. And when we were tagging together, we had some pretty ridiculously good matches. And I
Yeah, the
just
last
I
time you
like
were on this
Josh.
show, you put Josh over the last time you were on this show too.
Yeah, I like Josh a lot. And then I would say feud with Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels is the man. He you could do nothing but learn from working with Shawn Michaels. Uh, and then who would I fire? I don't know. There's no one that I really hate in wrestling. I feel like it's just too much energy to hold on to.
I
But
get you.
let me think.
I'm pretty sure there's some motherfuckers that you're like, this guy was not fucking here.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think about who to fire. I mean, especially since I got fired, I feel bad. Feeling like anybody should get fired. You know
The
what I mean?
fucking
I don't want
irony,
no one
right?
to lose their job.
That is the most diplomatic answer, and I'll tell you right now, that was probably the best answer I've gotten on this whole podcast, man. Um, so let the fans know where they can find you, man. Because, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, if you are a fan of Ring of Honor, if you're a fan of this man right here, dude, go do me a favor. Go like, click, and subscribe on his shit. Go buy his stuff because right now, everyone in Ring of Honor needs us like we needed them. So,
Yes,
where can they find you,
absolutely.
man? Where can they find you?
So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Last Real Man ROH. Which now thinking about it, I'm probably gonna have to change that
Oh,
handle.
shit.
But then you can also find like t-shirts and merchandise at prowrestlingtees.com/ Silas Young. And you can find me on Facebook as well if you do a little research.
A little research. Yep.
Yeah, it's
Don't go
it's
looking
my
on my
personal
page.
page. But if you find me out and you send me a friend request, I'll probably accept it.
Don't go looking on my page, ladies and gentlemen, because his personal page is on there, and you're not gonna find it. Um, anyway, yeah, man, thank you very much for joining us, man. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put this interview up on bodyslam.net. That's www.bodyslam.net, ladies and gentlemen, so you can hear all about Silas Young, what he's got planned, what he's gonna be doing, how he's gonna rebound from this bullshit firing, and hey man, best of luck to you, brother. And you always got a spot at BCW Worldwide, man. As soon as we open up, the door is gonna be flooded open for you.
I appreciate that, man. And if you will, if you post something up on Twitter and tag me in it, I'll make sure to
Oh,
share
for
it
sure,
and
man.
tweet it.
For sure. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us once again on bodyslam.net, the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. We will see you guys later. Have a great day.